program historically has struggled mightily with Tallahassee?
I just feel like the atmosphere they have down there. I haven't never been down there, but I've heard it's pretty loud down there. And then Florida State's is a great program. They play physical, great defense usually, a lot of talented receivers and running backs. So they just have good teams, and we look forward to trying to end that streak of not winning down there.
As a linebacker, do you embrace the opportunity to go up against a guy like Dalvin Cook?
Yes, sir, I do. He's a great back, and he was breaking a lot of tackles, just making all the plays. Y'all seen the course, and for us, it'll just be a great challenge. But you always look forward to trying to shut down a great back. So I'm excited about it.
But they've also got a backup running back who looks like he's a load. I mean, is it? Mm-hmm. They're not the same back, but are they together? Maybe the biggest challenge you've had in the running game this year.
Oh yes, sir. I would say so. And then they have a great offensive line. They have a lot of great schemes. But the backup running back, he's a little bigger, and he's gonna bring that load to us. And they just have they complement each other really well. So it's up to us to just put a stop to it.
Does DeAndre Francois remind you of anybody you've played so far?
I guess he's more similar to Lamar Jackson, not as fast, and the scheme's not the same as how they use him. But he's a really good passer, and then he stays in the pocket. But if he has to leave the pocket and run, he'll get extra yards. So it's always tough because when you're playing coverage, you might have him locked down, and he takes it off and gets about 5 or 6 yards. So it'll be up to us to just have great zone eyes and really put a stop to his running.
What are you impressed about him when you see him on film? I mean, this is a guy who's still growing, really, just getting his first action this year.
Yeah, he just looks really poised. And then his toughness. You watch the film, you see he's taking a lot of big hits. He's had a lot of pressure on him. And, he's kind of got banged up here and there, but he always comes back in the game. He's fighting for his teammates. So you just see a really poised young guy that's really tough and, just wants to play great for his team.
Y'all have won some places on the road where Clemson's not won in a long time, Auburn, Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. Do y'all talk about how much Clemson's struggled over the years in Tallahassee? Is that another challenge you look forward to? And what do you recall about watching that last game in Tallahassee 2 years ago?
Well, we haven't really talked about it. We know about it, and we know we haven't won down there since, I believe, maybe 2006, or it's been a while since we won down there. So, that's always in the back of our mind. But, this is this year. It's a new game, and we don't really pay attention to it. We're trying to go down there and just end the streak and win the game. And then as far as I remember my freshman year, I was a red shirt, and I was watching it. I was all tuned into it, and, man, the defense dominated the whole game. They played great, and I've watched that game like twice this week, just watching it and seeing how they dominated them. But then they didn't get the job done, and that's what it all comes down to. You can dominate a team, but at the end of the day, you have to finish and make plays when it really counts, and we didn't make those plays. So we don't want to let that happen again.
Christian Wilkins, the mid-season prankster, has he ever pranked you yet so far?
No, he hasn't pranked me. He's always messing around, though.
Are you worried about him getting you?
No, I'm not worried about it. We're pretty cool, so he doesn't try to mess with me too much. But, my locker's pretty much right beside his, and he's always doing some kind of antic. He's just a goofball. He loves life, and, he always has a smile on his face, so he's fun to be around. I'm sure after he sees his interview, he might have some plans for me, so I'll have to be aware because he's probably watching. So,
how would you compare Florida State's rushing attack to some others you guys have faced this year?
Most similar to last week with NC State, just the stretch plays they run, and they use the running backs a lot, try to get the ball in their hands. And Florida State has their own different animal. And Dalvin Cook, he's a exceptional talent, and I think they do a great job of just getting him the ball as many times as they can and using the right schemes to help him break big runs. So he's a great talent.
Have you guys kind of figured out maybe what went wrong in the NC State game with what they were doing running the ball, and if so, kind of what adjustments do you need to make?
Yeah, just fits. We didn't make the right fits, and they exposed us. We didn't see the stretch play a lot until that game, and we just didn't fit it the right way. And then the running back, Dames, was a good back, and he exposed us. So we fixed the mistakes, and we feel like we're ready.
Do you feel like this team plays better on the road than on this year?
I don't know. We did dominate all the games on road so far, but, I just think that just comes with the games and who we're playing. So I wouldn't say we really see a difference in how we play. We don't want to be that kind of team that's high on the road and low at home, or vice versa. So really we try to dominate each game. But I think we do feed off, being in enemy territory. and kind of having our backs against the wall. We do feed off that, especially as a defense. So I've always liked playing it on the road and, you know, having that feeling like you're the enemy. It kind of gives you a little extra edge that you need.
Does it also help communication and the crowd isn't going crazy when you're good?
That's huge because here on home games, man, you can't hear hardly. The D lineman can't hear you when you're trying to make calls. It's kind of tough. And then with it being an away game, it's more quiet when we're on defense and they're offense. So that definitely helps with communication.
Is it more gratifying on the road than at home when you hear silence as opposed to roaring? After a big play?
Nah, you love that roaring. You love the ground shaking and the crowd going crazy. But, man, you feed off of, you know, just shutting that crowd up when you're on away games. It's a great feeling. It's something I've always liked. Some people never really like playing away, but I like it. I like, you know, just feeling like the enemy. And then if you're dominating, the crowd's quiet, and it's just a great feeling.
You mentioned watching the 2014 tape. Have you watched through overtime when you watched it?
Yep.
So what's the emotion you're feeling when you watch Carlos win that he didn't win a touchdown?
You know, it sucks because they dominated. Defense played great, man. You see the energy, those vets on that team, you know, Stephon, Grady, Vic. It's just they had a great team, and they dominated, and they just played hard every snap. And, you know, it didn't roll the way they wanted to at the end, but for the most part, they did their job. And, you know, you look at that and you say, that can't happen to us. We got to make sure we make those plays that we need to do to win the game.
Not to go back to the Wilkins thing, but would you ever consider pranking him? I mean, just to set the tone that you won't be messed with?
I haven't thought about it, but you're putting it in my head, so that would be great. I had to get it on video. I don't know. He probably watching this, and he's gonna get me first. So I guess we'll see next week. Y'all have a story. It's because he definitely saw this, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna get him first." So we'll see.
When you go into a matchup like this, is there anything you have to do to kind of keep your emotions in check? Is there anything you guys do to stay loose? I mean, that time with each other.
Yeah. You know, I feel like we're a pretty composed team, especially on the defense, and you know, really, it's just sitting in the hotel all day on Saturday waiting to go out there. You kind of it's tough. You try not to let your emotions get too high that early, but really, road game, away game, I think that's kind of the culture here at Clemson where it doesn't matter where we're playing, what time, a win's a win, and that's what we're trying to reach, so that's what we're going for.
You guys in the linebacking group, especially Louisville, NC State, you guys feel like you're kind of being picked on, backs, tight ends, out of the backfield, those kind of things in coverage a little bit?
Maybe so. I'm not sure. Maybe so.
When you have all that time to wait before the game, you have a night kickoff, like, do you read philosophy, play video games? Like, how do you kill the time just to keep your mind from getting too hyped on the game?
We really watch the film. Linebackers, we watch so much film, and Coach V doesn't give it a break ever. So, I mean, that's what makes him great. You know, it can be 20 minutes before we go out there to warm up, and he's found something new that he wants to tell us on little tricks here and there. He'll send us videos when he's in his hotel room, and like you can see his face in the like reflection of the computer, and this is like, do you sleep? But he's just sitting there, and he finds something new. And he sends us video, and that's just what makes him great. He's relentless, man, and he wants us to succeed, and he does a great job of giving us keys and tips to help us succeed.